Good morning and welcome. Welcome to Movers and Shakers Global. This is a fantastic series that we've started in order to introduce you some of the most powerful people on this planet. And we bring them to you because we want to share their story, their power, their wisdom with you so that you can have amazing success stories created using their powerful intentions, using their powerful knowledge in order to totally change your life and your business to the next level. These leaders have made phenomenal quantum leaps in their careers and in their professions, in their businesses. And you are here to just gain this amazing knowledge from them so that you can use it and implement them to see major changes. Today, we have a very, very special guest on this particular show, Movers and Shakers Global. And he is Mr. Ahmad Shah Duranai. And he is one of the really, really good friends that we have. We have been in friends for a very long time, and we've seen the success that he's created for himself as well as a lot of people and his clients. And that's why we selected him as one of the person that we know who's literally moving and shaking the norms of this universe right now. So welcome, Ahmad. Welcome.
Well, thank you very much, and thank you to your viewers, the viewers of your show, Movers and Shakers.
Thank
And
you.
thank you for this introduction. I hope I can live to the expectations.
Oh, I'm sure you will. Now, I also want to let people know that you've done some amazing achievements, and one of the phenomenal achievements that I know you specialize in is where you are a leadership and communications coach and educator, and that's so unique, that's so powerful for you to be in that position, and that has been supported by the many books that you've written in the past. And one of the most common books that I have actually in my library, and of course I've read that book that you have written, which is The Leadership Zone, and that's the lessons from the front lines. It's a big, nice, thick, fat book.
Actually, I have a copy
Oh my
here.
God. Yes, yes.
Yes. So,
The concepts that you've introduced in that are really, really powerful. So, Ahmad, welcome to the show, and I'm looking forward to having some amazing conversation with you for the next half an hour or so. Welcome.
well, thank you very much, and I'm ready for the conversation. That book you mentioned, actually, and the leadership and communications coaching and the education that I provide, I started this when I was in my 50s.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
So before that, I studied, and my education is in architecture, and I have an MBA degree, and I have over 30 years experience leading design teams on major iconic projects
Lovely.
around the world. Among them, I worked on the Toronto General Hospital.
Oh, wow.
I worked on the Nortel campus in Ottawa, the Atlantis Resort in this man-made island in Dubai. I
Oh,
was the project manager of that project. The Landmark Tower in Abu Dhabi, and
nice.
the Kitchener and Waterloo Courthouse in Kitchener, among many, many. Like when you work for 30 years, you lose track of all the projects that you work. So
That's
thank you.
good. Amazing. Good. So yeah, tell me more about your story, Ahmad. So where did it start, and how did you ultimately land up in this area of leadership, and how has your growth been over the past years?
Yeah. So this year I approached 70
Oh
in my
wow.
age. Okay. So to tell you my story will take the whole day. So I'll just tell you briefly what happened. Like you come from India, I come from Afghanistan, and I grew up in rural Afghanistan in a village which is 120 kilometers south of Kabul, but
Okay.
at least 120 years behind. Like even today, to this day, there is no electricity and there is no running
Oh
water in the homes. There is no infrastructure of any kind that is available there. Only cell phones and solar panels. have just come recently to that part.
Wow.
It is a very tough area, and unless a person is very tough, they cannot survive there. There, in it's a tribal area where manhood is not determined by your age, but by your ability to use a gun.
Oh my God, really?
Okay, where education was considered as a curse rather than a blessing.
Wow. Unbelievable.
Where women didn't count in the census. And so my father was a community leader and a very tough person, but his toughness manifested to be a very dominant person at home. So I grew up to be a very shy and timid person,
Wow.
extremely shy.
What a great start. You've put really things into perspective
Yeah.
for people to see where you started. Wow. Wow. I'm loving
Yeah.
this.
And I wasn't grown in a poor family. We were middle class, but
Okay.
the middle class there meant that I had one pair of clothes and one pair of sandals, and
Wow.
that sometimes I will go barefoot to school. And in winter, we will be extremely cold. And I couldn't afford to have paper to write on. So we used to have liquid chalk on wooden boards we would write.
Oh, wow.
And my father had this vision that his children should be educated. So we were taken to school in the quota system. The people didn't want to put their children in school. So they will come to people who had more kids in home and will give them some money. Say, take this money and put your son in school so the government will not bug us.
Oh my God.
That's how I went to school. But because I was very shy, I couldn't participate a lot in the discussion. So I will listen. I really learned how to listen, and that helped me to excel academically.
Ah, okay.
So that's how I eventually managed to finish school in the village and went to high school and went and got a scholarship to study in the American University of Beirut. I became an architect. I got my MBA degree.
Oh my
And
God. It was here and then zoop. That's how
yeah,
it
exactly. And it was there I learned the importance of communication skills, you know.
Mm,
And even though I was shy, I found out that listening actually is 50% of the communication.
love that.
And
Love
I excelled in that. So,
That's awesome. Wow, what a powerful lesson you learned there, hey?
yes, that's true.
That's amazing. Good, good, good. So tell me more about now your expertise, your leadership. How do you help people, and what do you think is missing in terms of leadership that you fulfill as a coach, as a mentor for them?
But that's a good question. Just a small introduction to that. As I mentioned, so I studied in the American University of Beirut as architect. I worked as architect for over 30 years.
Mhm.
And then I went to a program here in Toronto in 2006. It was called the Passion Test, and it was organized by our mutual mentor, Raymond Aaron.
Oh, I see. Awesome.
In that passion test, I discovered that beside architecture, I had other passions also, but I wasn't living them.
Okay.
The founder of the passion test, Janet Atwood herself, was there, and
Oh,
she
wow.
tested me in front of 250 people. And I discovered that, oh my God, none of those other passions are in my life. So that's how I transitioned from architecture to what I'm doing now. I wanted to become a writer. And
Hmm.
as you know now, I have 4 books under my belt.
Yes.
I wanted to become a speaker. And initially, because I wasn't famous, so people won't give me opportunity to speak. So I created my own programs.
Hmm.
And some of those programs, workshops, and seminars eventually became the Leadership Zone book.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah. I found out that a lot of the people, maybe 99 99.9% of the people do not live to their full potential.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
And so I studied that, see what can we do so that people can actually increase on a daily basis a small increment to their capabilities, to their capacities,
Nice.
to their
Okay.
ability, so that they get closer to their full potential.
Mm.
And that's how I coach people. I help them to discover that every day they can be a little better and do a little better. And over time, they make a big change and become a bigger version of themselves.
Wow, wow. Okay, good, good. So I'm going to ask you a little bit more in that area because that's
Yes,
definitely
sir.
an area that I'm interested in, and I help a lot of clients build their own businesses and they build empires. So, in terms of what you focus on in leadership, can you give me some examples as to what you found in your coaching and mentoring? How you have helped people grow into that out of their zone of comfort into their zone of leadership?
So, through my studies and observation, I found out that actually there are 6 major barriers that we all face. And initially, what has happened is that those barriers are really invisible.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened was that our parents and our elders and the community leaders, they create a kind of a fortress for us to protect us from harm outside.
Mm,
So our parents, teachers, the school system, etc., is built to create a fortress. The intention is good. It is
right.
to prevent any harm for us when we are kids.
Mm.
However, when we grow up and we want to explore, that fortress becomes a prison.
Wow, interesting.
So my book, The Leadership Zone, explores this possibility of how that fortress becomes a prison and how you can get through them. And it's a prison with 6 different barriers that are
Mm.
around us. The first barrier that we learn is the barrier of the language.
Barrier of the language. Okay.
Yes, and it's different than communications. The barrier of the language is related to our mindset, to the way we are brought up, and the way we use language with other people. If we blame others, if we complain others, if we learn how to blame and complain and be ashamed of ourselves and have a scarcity mindset, it becomes a big barrier. And this
Mm.
is where 99% of the people learn how to speak.
Interesting.
So the language of excellence, which is a solution to this language of what I refer to as mediocrity, those people, they take responsibility for themselves. They are proactive.
Mm.
They are accountable for themselves. They believe in abundance, in sufficiency, in excellence, in collaboration with other people. So
Wow.
that's the first barrier.
Okay. Awesome.
The second barrier is that people really don't know why they're here. Why are they on planet Earth? And obviously, people from different religious or ideological reasons will come with some solutions, but really, people don't know what their purpose in life is. Why are they here?
Mm. That's a big topic.
That's a big topic, and it's a big philosophical topic. It's a spiritual topic. It's a physical, from every respect, mental topic. But once people discover their purpose, they don't have enough control over themselves and discipline so that they can allocate sufficient resources to live on purpose.
Yes.
So that's the third barrier.
Nice.
The fourth barrier is the barrier of ego.
Mm.
And what
Wow.
happens is that if we don't nurture our ego when we are young and children, people will walk over us. So we need to grow some ego so that we can survive.
Yeah.
However, once we reach a certain level, we have to be able to manage and to leash the ego.
Mm. Mm.
And that ego prevents us from he- collaborating with other people and achieve much more. So we
Yeah.
become like what they call a ragged individualist. And
Mm.
the ragged individualist cannot reach their full potential. They can be independent, but independence is not really a higher level of growth. It's interdependence that is. So, with the first three barriers, when they get out, the language, the purpose, and the discipline, they reach a level of independence.
Nice.
But
Love that. Love
to
that. Very.
reach their full potential, they have to collaborate with other people. They have to team up with other people. So the
Mhm.
other three barriers are the barrier of ego. They have to learn how to manage their ego.
Mhm.
The other barrier is the barrier of communications. They don't learn how to communicate.
Mm.
You most probably in your life have seen many people, when you talk to them, they don't listen with the intention of understanding. They listen with the intention of answering you.
Right, right, right. So true.
Yeah.
So yes, and there's a big difference.
Yes. And they don't. The way they are brought up in the community, they start with a mistrust and with an adversarial type of position when they start communicating. They don't know how to develop rapport with other people. They don't know how
Mm.
to develop trust, how to communicate with calm confidence and safe strength and pure motivation.
Mm.
They want to use it as a transaction. What is in it for me? With that
Right.
intention, they communicate. And then the education system, until very recently in the West and all over the world, was to make people be independent.
Mm.
So they don't teach them how to collaborate with other people. Actually, they boost their ego. So they develop a problem of ego management as they grow up. So they cannot collaborate with other people.
Right, right, right.
So my coaching is on a two-stage level. First, I want them to get rid of those six barriers,
Mm.
crash through the six barriers. And once they are there, then I help them to become better and better and better so they don't slide back.
Very nice. Very nice.
Some of our mutual mentors have been telling us that if you don't grow, you die. You,
Mm-hmm.
right? So they have to continuously grow and become better and
Yes,
better.
yes, exactly. Because it is true, like everything in this physical universe, is
Yeah,
changing, right? It's either expanding or
exactly.
it's shrinking. There is no
Yeah,
staying the same.
yeah.
So if you're not growing, if you're not developing, if you're not improving, then you are deteriorating. That's the basic.
That's exactly like I believe Mayor Ezra, who is my mentor as well as your mentor and teacher, and he has helped us so much. And one of the things we realized through him is this idea that you either go up or you go down. You either deteriorate or you improve.
Exactly, exactly. Totally, totally a very, very powerful mentor. I'm so blessed to have him as my mentor. So that's amazing. Okay, good. So this is really good. I mean, you outlined all these six barriers, and these are really, really big barriers to handle.
Yeah.
And you outlined them in a very short period of time, and you did a very good job in outlining them. But really, these are really humongous barriers. Like I feel even one barrier, if a person can overcome and gain real success in one zone, that will help them to come across and overcome the next barrier,
Yes. Yeah.
right? So I
They are stepped. Like you cannot go. You have to go one by one. They are stepped. They're one
I
by
think
one up.
how it's outlined, and I can see how
Yes.
progression will take place if people really follow through the program, and
Yeah.
maybe they will understand better how huge these barriers are in their life.
there are people have told me they're eye-opening. Once they work with me, their relationships have improved, their career have improved, their business have improved, and in every respect. So the book is what I refer to a holistic manual for living by design rather than living by default.
Nice, nice. I like that. That's very good. That's very good. Okay, good. Now, Emma, just this is great. I mean, the path that you're showing people and the values that you've shared so far are really incredible.
Thank
Now,
you.
can you give me an example of the type of people that you help? Is it mainly entrepreneurs? Is it business owners? Is it what type of people are these that would benefit from the leadership zone and from your teaching?
So um, people who, like, I have received testimonials from doctors, from chiropractors, from accountants, from executives, from teachers, from all of them who have told me. However, as you know, when we write book, we should have a, what they call it, a primary objective. So my objective was to actually raise the leadership level of mid-level managers in corporations.
Okay.
Yeah, that was my intention. The target population for my book was actually the executives. So I give the book to an executive. He reads it and says, "Oh my God, this will really help my management team."
Nice.
And
Nice.
then I go and I train them with
Wow.
those skills. So that was the intention. However, what happened was when the book was published, out of nowhere, I was invited by an international consulting firm, and I was asked if I could go and train the staff of the United Nations on their behalf.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
huge.
yeah. So they flew me to Uganda, where there is a huge organization setup of the United Nations, and I trained the staff there on presentation skills. Now, being an architect um, and a speaker and a seminar facilitator, so it was very easy for me to do that.
Right, right, right.
And when that happened successfully, they asked me if I could train the zone managers of a bank in the United Arab Emirates.
Wow. So one led to the other.
Yes, exactly. So I have been to Dubai because of my architectural work many times. Uh, they flew me and then they took me to a mountain resort, and I spent 2 days with these bankers,
Nice.
the program that they had told me to train them on, the last minute they asked me that they don't want this program.
Oh,
Can you come up? The training starts the next day. I arrived there the day before, and at 4 o'clock in the evening, they told me, "Can you prepare a different program for them?"
wow. Really?
So we spent 2 fantastic days with those people, and they really enjoyed it. And I found out also that I had the potential to improvise things on the spot.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Good, good, good. So, Ahmad, the can you give the audience a couple of tips about leadership from the huge vault of information that I'm sure you have? What is something that people can implement and see some amount of changes in their life using some leadership principles?
Okay, I had actually, in my upcoming book, the people asked me to put a quotation,
Okay.
start my chapter on a quotation. So I think it is good. It would be a good tip for all the people.
Okay.
And this quotation is from Andrew Carnegie. Andrew Carnegie was the mentor of Napoleon Hill.
Mhm.
He told Napoleon Hill to write his, Think and Grow Rich.
Yes.
He says, "No man will make a great leader who wants to do it all himself, or to get all the credit for doing it.
Wow. Yes, that's so true. It's basically talking about interdependence, having a team,
Exactly.
working with someone. Wow.
So that will be my thing. And then the other thing is that you know that I am now 70 years old, and I still attend classes to learn things.
Yes.
So my tip to the people will be never stop learning.
Wow. Nice.
Every day, in my book I elaborate on this, on our being and our doing.
Hmm.
Every day we should attempt to improve our being, even if it's a little bit, and our doing, even if it's a little bit. And the result of it over time is phenomenal. Brian Tracy called it the 1000% formula.
Hmm.
Uh, Tony Robbins called it the Kanai principle. And I have kind of synthesized that into your being times your doing equals your having, and what you have. Okay.
I love
And,
that.
and what you have becomes phenomenal if every day you improve your doing and your being.
Wow. I love that. Being times doing is equal to having.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've just expanded on the be do have principle, which is, of course, the foundation of a lot of our
As
learning.
a matter of fact, every chapter of my book, that you know, being times doing equals having, is a string that goes through all the chapters.
Wow. That's lovely. That's
Yeah.
really, really well said.
Well, thank you.
Awesome. And thank you for the amazing messages. I really love both your messages, your message about team building, because I know how important it is. And because even in my business, when I see I'm working with people and amazing coaches, mentors, and amazing clients, I see the successes that we are creating for ourselves and for our business partners and for our clients has truly made a big difference because of the people that we work with.
Yeah.
Right? So I
One
want
one other tip, perhaps maybe the last one, unless you ask for more, uh, and that is my observation is that there is no such thing as work and home separation.
uh-huh.
To me, there is no separation. If you are successful at work and you bring that energy home and you have harmony at home, you will be successful. If there is no harmony at home, if people's relationships suck at home but they are multimillionaires, that life is not really worth living.
Hmm.
And if you are very happy at home but you can't pay your bills, that life is also not really worth living. So that is the kind of succession. There is no line between the two.
Absolutely.
It's
That's
a total success. What I refer to this as total success.
total success. Yes, these are just different areas of your life, but it's
Yeah,
still you as a being.
yeah,
You
exactly.
and family and your friends, your co-workers, they all are sort of components of
Yeah,
an
it's
individual.
it's a container with different compartments. You have to work in each compartment.
Exactly. So true. So true. I
Yeah.
perfect. Agree totally. All right. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Ahmad. That was really great information. I loved getting some questions answered, and the amount of value that you shared was really awesome. And we have lots of people watching this right now, but we also will have a lot of people watching this as a recording, and even some audio streams will be going on a lot of platforms. So definitely visit Ahmed's website. It's up on the screen right now. If you want to talk about more your website or your business right now, Ahmed, please feel free to go do so.
I'm available easily through Facebook. People can send me messages through Messenger. They can also go and review some of my programs that are on the website if they are interested, and then they can get in touch with me. I am very approachable.
Yes,
And
you're amazing. Yes,
yeah,
sure.
so and I also have Facebook live programs that people can watch and comment. And also about what we just discussed today, if they have any issues, they can send me a private message and I can talk to them
Awesome.
directly if they want.
That's wonderful.
And thank you for giving me an opportunity to come to this platform and to share some of my ideas with your, shall I say, with your tribe.
Yes. Yes.
And,
You're very
and I hope we will find many opportunities to collaborate.
Oh, of course. We're just getting started. So this particular platform that we've started is specifically for people around the globe who are making a huge difference in their own life, but more importantly, impacting a lot of other people to be successful. And that's what we want to project out to the outside community and outside world, that there are people like this who are making big difference, no matter what the circumstances are, no matter what barriers people put in front of them. They still decide, it's a decision that they've made a decision to actually help themselves and help a lot of people around them. That's the main message, what we want to share with this platform, Movers and Shakers Global.
And I think you are a great role model for that. I remember when we first met in one of Raymond Aaron's programs, and just a short few years ago, and the amount of progress that you have made, the impact that you have made internationally and locally here, it's phenomenal. I really commend you for keeping that commitment to improve yourself and to help other people.
Thank you, Ahmad. That really means a lot to me. Thank you very much. Yes.
And not to mention the children that you have raised, to become an author at the age of 12, is a phenomenal success.
Yes, thank you. Yes. So this particular program, which is Movers and Shakers, is coordinated by me, Amit Ambegaonkar. I am the author of the book Your Profound Success: 7 Powerful Ways to Skyrocket Your Business Using Internet. And my wife Swapna, we bring these authors and these amazing people to you. And Emma today did such a phenomenal job of not just sharing his wisdom, but also giving you some tips and values, Emma. That was really good. I love those tips. And I'm looking forward to having more association with you, looking forward to doing some more business with you together so we can help and reach a lot more people.
I think we are here to serve. We are here to serve humanity, and the more we come together, the more impact we can have and more people we can elevate to reach their potential.
Awesome. All right. So thank you again for this amazing interview, Ahmad. I really appreciate your time that you put in and the value that you shared. And thank you so much, viewers, for watching this or hearing this audio. And I'm sure you got tons and tons of value. If you want to reach Ahmad, his website is duranet.ca, DURANET.ca. And if you want to reach me, my website is yourprofoundsolutions.com. Yourprofoundsolutions.com. Feel free to reach us through the website. And if you have any questions, that would be the best way to reach us. And we're also available on Facebook to answer any of your questions.
And LinkedIn.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you. And stay tuned for the next episode of Movers and Shakers, where we bring you the next powerful guest who's going to give you tons of value and make a big difference in this universe. Thank you again. Bye-bye.